Alright, so now we just got level 20. Which is perfect, because this is allows us to unlock the Tavern Brawl.
Welcome to the Tavern Brawl!
So there you go. Win a classic pack for your first victory this week. So if you keep doing this every week, it'll start to add up. And you get a lot of classic packs that way. Oh yeah, and this one, Ragnaros' Fire Festival, doesn't really matter if you win or lose. Just need one win for the pack. So we could just go with a mage. Or we could try and level up a hunter. Actually, hunter's pretty good in this brawl. So let us try this. I'm thinking. Small beast is nice.
Tap near the edge of a page to flip through your collection.
Handmaster's not so good here. Let's use these. Actually, let's use a shrimp brewer. Put in some more one-drops. Maybe even try a gold shy footman. Elven archer. Alright, let's just try this. So sometimes you'll have to make a deck, sometimes you're given a deck. If you just kind of figure out what the brawl is doing, you shouldn't have too much trouble getting a win.
Rexar versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory.
Let the hunt begin.
Okay.
My fire be purged.
Must choose quickly.
Is someone injured?
No. That's pretty strong, because he'll be able to heal it out for extra cards.
Quickly.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow. So you can still heal up again for more cards if you want. So we want this to actually go up in attack. Since we're aggressive hunter, we want it to go up. Priest probably wants to stall it.
You are the shadow's puppet.
So every time a creature dies, the attack of mini rag goes up by 1. Alright, we're definitely killing this.
To my side.
Nice. Ooh. Well, they're gonna have to trade straight in and kill the Northshire if they want to get rid of Misha. Oh wow. This is also Wild Brawl.
I
Sure. Okay, getting there. No Holy Nova, please.
You are the shadow's puppet.
Okay. Damn. Wow, Rag is still gonna be a 2 attack. That's actually really annoying. We have to kill this. It's gonna keep growing. Problem is we don't kill this right now. We're risking it. Oh! Oh fuck. I was supposed to hit face. Like, what the hell was that?
Is someone injured?
Come on, Rag. Damn. The priest is playing with fire, though. You're getting down to 10.
What you looking at?
Do we trade or not? We have to. So he's already used 1 Shadow of Death. Really? He has a second one? That's insane. What did I say before? We want Mini Rag's attack to go up, and it hasn't gone up. This is insane. It's getting pretty low, though. Alright, let's do this
I
first.
hope you like my invention.
Hopefully, the Rag can hit this.
Bubblies and yummies!
No! Oh my god. Maybe we should have played Razorfen, it'll guarantee to go up. Regardless, we still have a combo with Unleash the Hounds, Timberwolf. If he gets too low. Oh. No, you can't attack Mini Rag.
Not too quickly.
Really?
Echoes are eternal.
Wow. That's a bit of a problem. We are one off lethal. One off. Alright, let's just use the combo anyway. Oh, wait a minute. That's 4 in Quiz Mini Rag. 8, 12, 13. Okay, so we win.
Well played.
Oh, if you're sure.
Okay. Very nice. That's pretty bad for the count though. Look at that, Mini Rag didn't get any kills. You want Mini Rag to get kills so you can get an emote. Alright, another quest done and a pack. So let us open this classic pack. Oh, this is a thing for a new player to get introduced to. Okay, so we saw Mammoth turn into Raven. I like how it says new way to play when it's actually been 2 years old now. So instead, only the newest cards can be used. Only the expansions from the last 2 years, plus classic and basic set, can be used in standard. So there is Year of Raven. The cards that you can use in standard change each year. And there's Wild. So Wild, you can use any card from the beginning of Hearthstone. And then those are the 3 sets that rotated out in back in April. So we got that. These are the cards that moved to Hall of Fame. Call Out Oracle was always seen in some sort of mill deck. Could be used, you know, to just control how the opponent drew their cards. Ice Block, a defining card in certain mage decks, because basically it would allow you to stall for a turn. You get invulnerability for a turn, that sort of thing. And if you were like, if you had a plan to reduce your opponent's life total down to 0, you would get delayed by the Ice Block. It made decks like Exodia Mage a lot better, because now in standard they don't really work as well. And then Molten Giant. Molten Giant is like you know, one of those giants. Very useful in Warlock, since Warlock likes to damage themselves down to low health while still being very powerful. And then so if you are low health as a Warlock, you play this for like a low mana cost. It also got nerfed at one point. It was 25 mana. So basically, if you wanted to play it at 0 mana, you would have to be at 5 health. At 10 health, it would cost 5 mana. But then they unnerfed it shortly before they moved it to the Hall of Fame. Pretty much. When the Hall of Fame cards were announced, they announced the unnerf at the same time. And so now it sees play in Wild. Okay, so then we got this standard Wild soft slider.
You've got some standard decks, but you can always create more in your collection.
So we unlocked that because we saw wild cards in the Tavern Brawl. That's usually the way you would unlock that sort of wild format. Another way is possibly to, I'm not sure exactly, but I think before you can even unlock it, you might be able to craft a wild card. It might actually be incorrect. So the proper way to do it is to play a Tavern Brawl with wild. And yeah, so now you got the option to convert wild decks to standard. All standard decks are by definition wild because all the standard cards belong in wild. Just the wild cards are the cards that are 2 years or older. So you've got, so as I said, you got the cards from 2016, Gadget Zan and Old Gods expansions, and the Karazhan Adventure. And you got cards from 2015, which is League of Explorers, Blackrock Mountain Adventures, and Grand Tournament expansion. And then you've got Goblins vs Gnomes and Next Ramus in 2014. One expansion and one adventure. And then you got the Hall of Fame cards, which are cards that used to be in the classic set but were moved. So then you got cards here that were moved to the Hall of Fame in Angora release in 2017. You got Ice Lance, Conceal, Power Overwhelming. You've got like promo legendaries. You used to be able to get this one if you got a copy of all the classic Murlocs. This if you got a copy of all the classic pirates. You have Azure Drake, which was a staple for like 5 mana cost minions. This is like a promo card, another promo card, and then Sylvanas and Ragnaros. The 2 defining legendaries and classic that were so good. Basically, they were so good that the question you would be asking is, okay, I need a 6 mana minion. What minion can I put in? And the answer would nearly always be Sylvanas. I need an 8 mana minion. I need a late game threat that has good stats and, you know, has a good power. What should I put in? And the answer was nearly always Ragnaros. However, I mean, they removed Ragnaros because, most likely because they wanted to release the Lich King. So this is basically, you know, it's similar. It's got 8/8 stats, 8 mana, similar to Ragnaros in that sort of late game threat, something like that. So they just thought, okay, those two cards are too defining. We need to move them out of standard. And also at the 5 mana spot, with the Azure Drake, you have Cobalt Scalebane. So there you go. So the thing with Blizzard is, cool, you got all these wild sets, but if you're joining in late as a new player or a returning player and you missed some old sets, maybe you missed Frozen Throne and Angora and you came back, it's just extremely hard to catch up. There is no catch-up mechanism at the moment for catching up on older sets you may have missed out on. Basically, you need to be actively playing every day during the 4 months that an expansion is the latest expansion. So for now, that's Witchwood. In a month, it will be the Boonsday project. Basically, you need to be playing continuously, just at least daily for the quests. Every few days for the quests. To get enough gold, to buy packs to get, you know, most of the commons and rares of a set. If you weren't there at that time, then basically Blizzard's like, too bad, you have to spend money to catch up on that stuff. Which, you know, it's more of a sense of if you want those cards for like fun and more variety, rather than I need those cards to rank up, because you can be fine in standard with just like classic and a couple of these cards from the 4 expansions. But if you're kind of, you know, you kind of want to look at the older sets, and like they have some pretty nice stuff on the older sets like mechs. And mechs is going to be a huge thing in the Boonsday project. So Wild, where you can play any card you want, it's going to change a lot because you have the mechs in the Boonsday with magnetic, and they would interact with the wild mechs. So if you don't have these wild mechs, then you have to spend packs to buy them, and you can buy them on the Battle.net store online on the website, but you can't buy them in game. So like there used to be a tab here for adventures. What they should do is put a tab for wild here. But Blizzard's stance is like, oh, it's gonna be too confusing to new players. Look at all these sets. If we put another wild tab here, there's gonna be too many sets. But like, really, that's not really an issue, because what you could do with the wild set, the wild tab here, you could put a warning. You could always put a warning like this one. If you go into collection and craft, if you try to craft a wild card, let's say for example this, it gives you a warning. This is a wild card, are you sure? So they could just do something like that for the shop, and it would help a lot of people. Like I don't know, like the simplest way is to just, you know, able to spend gold with it. Spend gold to get wild packs. Even though, you know, gold is kind of, you're trying to catch up on standard by just using gold. But if you had the option to buy some wild packs, you know, just like the first 20, 30, 40 packs, that already gives you a lot of like the staple cards. You don't need all the legendaries or epics. But right now there's no option. You have to go to the store. You have to go to the online web store. So in this sense, it makes if you really like the game and you want to get the old sets, it makes it really expensive. If you want to be F2P, compared to a free-to-play who started the game when they were like in Naxxramas or GVG, your collection's going to be nowhere near what their collection is going to be. However, that does not mean that you cannot have like a functional collection that is competitive. You just get like you just have to like go with standard. So in the future, Blizzard needs a solution to make WoW more accessible. Like, okay, you could keep the prices, make the prices still this sort of expensive and stuff, but you need like a in-between option that doesn't require people to spend like just like $80 or something on 60 packs just to get into some set. You need an in-between option, and Blizzard, I don't know, the community just says, oh, Blizzard's never gonna do that because it would lose their money. But at the same time, if you make it more accessible to people who are able to experience it, and then say they get able to try out Wild with, and so they're able to buy some Wild packs with gold or whatever in game, and they like it, then they're gonna want to buy it. So yeah, because right now you want to craft the cards, craft all the wild cards. It's really just spending all your dust. It's really wasteful. So that's another thing. The dust economy it's pretty low. You look at disenchant values, it's 5 for common. You disenchant, you only get 5 dust. You create, it's 40. Which, yeah, I mean, you can compare it to maybe some other game, and the ratio might be even worse. But for example, if it's like a legendary or something, it's 1600 to create. If you want to disenchant, it's 400. So it's quarter ratio. Epics 400 to craft, 100 dust when you disenchant it. It's even worse when you get duplicate epics. And then rares is like a 1:5 ratio. $100 to craft, 20 to dust. Hello, Jonius here. So this is a follow-up to the rant I was having about wild and standard and packs and the dust economy. I'm saying it because a bunch of things I said in that rant could be interpreted as meaning that you actually need to spend packs to stay competitive, but I mean that wasn't my point. Point is more about being able to have a broader collection, or being able to experience the older sets that older players were able to get into and get for free that for new players are just locked out on because the sets are just not available in game for you to earn. And I mentioned about having a like an in-between option, and I mean the in-between solution kind of is the dust economy, but it's just not enough. It's not. It can be sold as dust is a little bit more generous. Like with the current rate of how you accumulate dust only through duplicates, so only extra cards, and then you're having to disenchant your collection to get more dust, which never feels good. So you end up having a narrow collection with just a couple of decks, and if you want to play expensive deck, like you want to try them out, right? You're basically sacrificing your collection, and for some people that may be fine, but I believe that having access to, you know, most of the classes you want to play is something that will help you in the long term. So with how much dust you're getting at the moment, is basically you're better off saving it up for epics and legendaries, cards that you are unlikely to just open in a pack, because you are going to open most of these commons and rares. If you craft them now and then you open them up later, that's basically potential dust wasted. And you could have avoided crafting those duplicates. That being said, crafting a few commons and rares is fine. Just for example, we crafted a mana worm, but my point in the rant was, if you're starting with the wild sets, you're starting from 0, and you're having to craft all of these, like all the mechs. Say you wanted to play mechs in wild without having to spend money, right? Then you've got a Noyatron, you've got Clockwork Gnome, you've got Mech Warper. They all add up. So that's like, let's say 400, 500 dust, which you can do. I didn't really state that in the rant. I kind of said you needed to buy wild packs, but you can save out that much dust. It's just, you either spend a lot of dust on crafting all these common cards, or you spend dust crafting only the best cards. So that's where the competitiveness thing comes in. Rather than having a broad collection, you have a narrow collection that is highly focused on specific decks that just play out well. But like, if you want to experiment, if you want to build your own decks and have that sort of option, you kind of just need that sort of common rare base, that sort of starting base, which I wish like Blizzard would make more accessible. Like, allow us to earn it. Just don't have it be locked behind money or no option. So the simple solution basically is just to offer dust, something like 40 dust, guaranteed dust, additional for every pack. So let's say you open 40 packs, that's 1600 dust. That's enough for a legendary. And then we had events like Taverns of Time, which also gave us dust with daily quests. That was pretty good. It wouldn't be exactly a long-term solution because the dust accumulation may be slightly too much, not allowing people to earn their dust, but especially for new players coming in, it's really that curve of rounding out your collection is difficult. So I'd say realistically, for a free-to-play player, you can have a bunch of budget decks that cost, let's say, 1500 to 2000 dust, maybe. You have Zoolock, and you have mechs. You have mechs in the Boomsday project. With Paladin and Hunter, you can build pretty decent budget mech decks. And you might have enough dust to craft a more expensive deck. Let's say, I don't know, Priest or something. Priest is some pretty expensive decks. And that's pretty much it. Otherwise, you just disenchant a whole bunch of cards. So yeah, so you can end up focusing on a class for your more expensive decks and have budget decks across the rest of your classes. That's a realistically F2P goal, let's say within 3 to 6 months. So it really is up to you. Like, I'm here to show that it's possible to get to rank 5 for that rank rewards, because rank 5 you get golden epic and some golden commons. That's guaranteed 550 dust per month or something. So that adds up. You disenchant those golden cards, or you can keep them if you get some good ones, and you work from there. And so that's why I should mention Arena is like basically that sort of way. If you play a lot of Arena, you can grind enough dust so that you can get over this barrier. But Arena is not for everyone. So, and it is quite time consuming. If you want to have fun, you could. It's just it's limited options. That's a free to play player.